Hi, welcome to For Such a Time as This. My name is Colleen. Happy Wednesday. It is October 22nd, National Make a Dog's Day. Truth be told, I would have thought every day was Make a Dog's Day because we do we do everything to spoil our pooches. It is also National Medical Assistant Recognition Day, and we do want to give a shout out and thank the medical field for everything they do for us to help us feel better and get on a better track. It is National Color Day, and what better day to enjoy God's creativeness in all of the colors that we can see around us. In the month of October, well, the middle of autumn here, we can see the vibrant colors of the leaves as they change, and I just love it. It is also National Nut Day. Now, we're not talking about the nuts in your family or the neighbor next door. We are talking about the healthy snacks that you can eat, so enjoy some. So I wanted to share a personal story with you. It has absolutely nothing to do with any of the encouragement, but a lot of times you can watch little videos and think, the person on the other end of the screen that you're looking at has it all together. Well, I'm gonna share a story with you. So this morning I made myself a large cup of iced coffee. Delicious. Had it sitting on the left side of my desk, and I was in a virtual meeting, so I didn't drink any at the moment, but it just sat there waiting. Smelled quite lovely. And then the meeting's over, and I'm getting ready to physically go to a meeting, and so I'm like, all right, I moved my cup of coffee from the left side of my desk to the right side of my desk because I needed to pack everything up, and I didn't want to spill it. I spilled it. Sure enough, as I'm unplugging my computer, this large cup of coffee spills. And do you know how quickly coffee flows across a flat surface, engulfing everything in its path? I mean, everything. My phone, paper, the monitor, my mouse. And all I could do was sit and laugh. Now, I made it to my meeting on time, and I did get my desk cleaned up. Tomorrow, my office may have a pumpkin munchkin coffee smell to it, as long as it doesn't smell spoiled. But I'm just letting you know that I don't have it all together. I just do the best that I can on any given day. And at that point, I figured, hey, my day could only get better from here on out. All right, so I wanted to share with you, I've been reading the book of Psalms, and I tried it years ago and kind of was like, I wasn't really enjoying it. But this time around, I got to tell you, I can really identify with what the authors are saying. There's different authors for the book of Psalms, and it's just very relatable. There's times where they're praising God and then they're whining and complaining. And then they're praising God and then they're angry and mad. And then they're praising God and then they're sad and crying. And then they're praising God. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that is so my life. I've really been enjoying reading through the Psalms and just I'm gleaning as much encouragement and inspiration that I can. And so I wanted to share with you Psalm 116, verses 1 and 2. And this is what it says. I love the Lord because he hears my voice and my prayer for mercy. Because he bends down to listen, I will pray as long as I have breath. It's just mind-blowing to me, thinking that God is bending down to listen to my prayer. Because quite honestly, there are times that my prayers are very loud and boisterous. And then there's other times I'm a little more unsure of myself and I get a little quieter. And it just made me think of those times where, have you ever experienced a moment where you're talking to a child and you're having a hard time hearing them, and naturally you bend in and you keep getting closer and closer and closer to hear what they're saying because you want to hear every single word. You want to hear the tones and the pitches and get a full understanding of what they're sharing with you. And just the image of God bending down to hear everything that I'm saying just touched me so much. Because when you're bending down, it's intimate. It's not just, what? He's bending down to hear us. Mark Batterson is a Christian author, and he did a Bible study, and he talked about God's whispers. And sometimes what he's trying to tell us, it's very clear what he's asking us to do or where he's telling us to go. And then there's other times where it's a little bit quieter. It's like a whisper. And what happens when someone's whispering to you? You get a little closer. Just like when we're bending down to listen to a child talk, we get a little closer. So when we have those moments where God's talking a little quieter, it's not because he doesn't want us to hear. He wants us to draw in. He wants us to get closer so we can hear what he's saying, so we can hear his heart. And I love that. So whether it's God bending down to hear us or us pressing in and leaning in to hear God, let's do it. This week, I encourage you to press in, to get a little closer, to just talk to him and just imagine him bending down to hear his child talk. And likewise, you press in and get closer to him to hear his heart and what he wants to share with you. If you have questions on prayer, how do you talk to God? What does talking to God look like or sound like? Maybe you have a prayer request that you would like us to lift up in prayer for you. Please reach out to us. We would love to connect. We can be reached at the word for, F-O-R, for such a time, at the number for such a time, the number 414 at outlook.com. And as always, as it says in the book of Numbers, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Shalom, my friend.